What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about all the secret and unmarketed changes that you may have missed with Season 4 Reloaded. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, from now until July 14th, you can still save 15% off any order over at Apex Gaming PCs when you use code DYNAMITE. You can either choose from some of the pre-builds we put together, Nuclear, Bombshell, and Detonated, all of which are fully customizable and ready to go for COD 2.0, content creation, or you can also build your own PC from scratch and save hundreds of dollars while even financing your PC for as little as $67 a month. You can even have it shipped within under 2 weeks. Check out Apex down below. But we also have plenty of tweets going up over on Detonated's Twitter, lots of live coverage for the mid-season 4 updates, and also plenty of really helpful articles going up over at detonated.com. I posted quite a bit over the last, 48 hours. Appreciate all your support on all of the brand new content. It really means the world to me. But in the background, we got gameplay of the brand new Vandal Waterfront 6v6 map. Now, something I do want to tell you guys is be careful with judging a map, especially during the launch window of a new season or mid-season update. Lobbies are extremely sweaty whenever a new update such as a mid-season one does drop, so you guys may not get the best lobbies. It's very sweaty right now, especially with the launch of the brand new boys camo event. People out there are probably sweating as much as they can with certain weapon classes to go ahead and unlock that final mastery camo, so give it a couple more days, at least till the weekend, before really giving the map a chance in terms of what lobbies you're getting. But with that, let me know all your feedback down below in the comments on this brand new original 6v6 map. And when I say original, I'm saying yes, it is pulled from Vandal, but it is not an exact one-to-one from the BR map, and either way, Vandal is a completely original map anyway, not reused assets from campaign or any other part of the game. Now, also for those out there experiencing major issues with Modern Warfare 2 and even Warzone following the launch of this brand new update, we have quite a few things that are actually being investigated and fixed right now as we speak. So as a bit of a recap for those that don't have Twitter or just missed these announcements, they first off went ahead and said that they're investigating an issue where selecting view map in the battle pass opens the firing range for some players. They're also aware about Champions Quest not being enabled for Vandal, but that will actually be something that we see more about in Season 5, since other rewards are being planned out for the Battle Royale portion of Vandal. They're investigating a lot of reduced performance issues for PC players. It's something that actually was affecting me dramatically, as you guys probably saw while I was streaming, or even in some of this B-roll you're seeing in the background. They're also aware of issues where the UAV can sometimes behave like an advanced UAV, showing player dot movement. That's kind of a funny bug that we've all used to our advantage, but it's clearly not intended for the game's multiplayer. They're also putting out a small update that reduces the temp V drop rates across BR and Plunder. The play again feature has also been disabled in rotation resurgence while they investigate a problem, and they've released a fix for players with momentum when dropping out of the plane during initial match infill. And with that, they've also amended the patch notes a little bit. They've put out an update to enable gas damage over time. Players will now see an increase in the damage dealt to them over time the longer they remain in the storm. And then for ranked play, their most recent playlist update has addressed an issue that temporarily removed all ground loot, which was hilarious to see. The TAV vehicle went ahead and briefly appeared in Warzone Ranked, but was removed in a previous playlist update. They're also investigating other reports of further PC issues regarding some packet loss, other performance problems. They've gone ahead and also released a small update that impacts temp V functionality in DMZ, reducing the overall frequency of the drops and fixing an issue that allowed temp V drops in B21 and the Kosai complex, which was absolutely hilarious for those out there that were just mopping through entire lobbies. And they've also released an update for those that were attempting to save a new custom blueprint with a mastery camo equipped. A pop-up would appear stating that the camo had been reset. They've also fixed an issue in regards to certain diabolical bundles when viewed from the events tab, inconsistently becoming locked and not being able to be previewed after being purchased. Also fixed some collision issues, stuff with the light helo, players being kicked after trying to select an operator through the spectator mode, and then other issues in regards to the Resurgence Ashika Duos playlist. And then I think that's pretty much it here from the COD Updates Twitter. They're still investigating other problems as they went ahead and posted earlier today, but they also fixed an issue in regards to deployable buy stations unintentionally dropping cash. But with that, there were a number of updates and secret fixes that were not marketed at all in the Season 4 Reloaded blog post. They weren't really posted too much about by the social media team, but instead were buried inside of all the patch notes that we got for our mid-season update. Some of the things we'll even be discussing weren't really mentioned in the patch notes all that much either, so let's jump right into things. First off, Sena got a bit of an overhaul, so to speak, where cars no longer explode while traversing through the map. And the thing is, it felt like there were times when there weren't even grenades going off by certain vehicles and they were blowing up anyway. That's how funny that the map became. It's kind of just been a giant meme since the beta or the launch window of MW2 multiplayer. It looks like as of right now, the map is completely changed now, right? People out there might feel a better flow with the map now that cars don't blow up, and I want to see the reception to the map over the next couple of weeks. Let me know how you feel about this change down below in the comments. We also have 2 new game modes that also weren't really talked about at all in any prior marketing, and that is Killstreak Confirmed and Deathmatch Domination. Domination. Obviously, you guys might not consider those new modes, they're kind of just variants of existing ones, but it's always nice to see little switch-ups like that with some of our iconic game modes inside of multiplayer. Killstreak Confirmed allows you to actually earn streaks a lot faster by collecting tags. I believe you can even go ahead and overlap streaks like you were able to in games like Cold War, and it's a pretty hectic experience if you guys out there love calling in streaks, right? You'll see a lot of streaks on the map almost at once. And then we have Deathmatch Domination, which essentially means that your kills also count towards the score and progression of the match on top of capturing the flags. So again, some minor little updates here into regular multiplayer since there weren't any quote-unquote new modes even added at all in Season 4, aside from 12v12 Prisoner Rescue, 12v12 S&D. I mean, it's cool to see some battle map mosh pits, but in terms of actual new original modes, we didn't really get that here in Season 4. So these are definitely a nice change of pace for those out there that wanted something new. There's also a new attachment they added in, which is very scary to go up against, and that is a Dragon's Breath packed under barrel shotgun. I'm not kidding. For those out there that were tired of the KV broadside or other explosive weapons, we have an attachment now being added with that same effect, available to all weapons that are compatible with underbarrel shotguns upon completion of a challenge, as you can see there on screen. It's going to be really frustrating to see that in maps like Building 21 or games of Shipment. Things are about to get crazy with shotguns, on top of the new DLC MX Guardian shotgun that also got added in via the classified Battle Pass sector. But always welcome to see DLC attachments, equipment, field upgrades, perks. Love seeing other things added into a game to really freshen up a game's life cycle. There's also a bit of an overhaul with the party browser and just the social menu entirely with COD 2.0, which to me is definitely a welcome change, especially if all future CODs to release are going to be using the same kind of UI, especially as we also go ahead and merge and have cross progression with Warzone Mobile in the next couple of months. So as they went and confirmed in the patch notes, they've overhauled the looking for party system to help players find parties with similar communication and play styles, and you kind of break that up into 4 categories: dynamic preferences, being able to advertise your party, you're able to then browse parties and join right away, and there's also other quality of life improvements overall to the entire system, being able to attract the right amount of people that you're looking for, especially if you're going for specifically a raid completion or sweaty multiplayer. You want to go for faction missions in DMZ, do you want to just get wins in Battle Royale to go after Champions Quest in Warzone. Lots of cool things that they've added in here with Season 4 Reloaded. They've also added in-game surveys, as Detonated went ahead and posted about over on Twitter, and as they mentioned, players will be randomly selected for 1-question surveys following their matches every once in a while, and that our feedback is greatly appreciated and will be used to create a better gaming experience for all Call of Duty players. That's also going to turn into a bit of a meme with the kind of responses you can probably give after playing a match, so we'll have to wait and see how those in-game surveys are received by the entire community. Among some other changes that are definitely welcome is one of these, for example, in-game notifications when you've unlocked a Battle Pass token. So like you get a pop-up for when you level up or when your weapon is leveling up or whatever the case is, you can now get a pop-up for when you receive a Battle Pass tier skip. I think that's fantastic. For those out there just want more of a visual of where they're at progression-wise, how close are they to their next tier skip? How close are they to their next milestone while they're playing games of multiplayer or even Warzone? They've also improved the UI with the weapons progression menu, which again is another welcome change to really just ensure that MW2 or the next Black Ops game or whatever Call of Duty that may use this game's entire foundation can have a pretty smooth and beautiful looking interface upon launch, not a situation where it kind of feels like it's in alpha or beta for a number of months and then gets a full makeover that looks right and looks like how it should have probably looked to begin with by like Season 4, Season 5. This is great to see, right? Always welcome to nice changes with the UI inside of the game. As I talked about in my video going over all the Raid Episode 4 rewards, there are new rewards for collecting 100 and 150 pieces of intel throughout Spec Ops, and one of the rewards is an infinite RGL killstreak, which would drastically change your entire gameplay when it comes to the Raid episodes, the co-op Spec Ops missions, and you can also get an animated calling card, or I believe it's a loading screen, for also having 150 total pieces of intel. So always cool to see some bonus rewards added in almost secretly at the main menu of a mode that you might not play that much. But something else you probably didn't know about, speaking of raids, is that it'll actually tell you who triggered the explosion and who got your team killed during a raid episode. So instead of pointing fingers and just not really knowing what happened, it'll tell you exactly what character went ahead and did what inside of a raid death, which I think is also a pretty funny change, especially considering that the 4th episode of Raids does feature quite a few opportunities for people out there to make mistakes. But they've also gone ahead and updated the firing range dummy to where you can now actually equip plates on the dummy to just better understand how your weapons would perform in game modes that feature armor, and just also offering more information to how your weapons are performing while in that firing range. Kind of reminds me a bit of the Advanced Warfare firing range many years ago. A lot of CODs just didn't have a firing range, so it's cool to see that we have one here with COD 2.0 that probably will be featured in every new Call of Duty to release over the next couple of years, but also just being able to test out weapons a lot more in depth instead of having to jump in game against real people. Always a nice change when you're able to enhance how you test out your loadouts before bringing them into a real match. Now, something that also got buried in the patch notes, which really wasn't wasn't marketed in the blog post is the brand new Castra public event for Al Mazrah Battle Royale, which again, we can actually get footage of right now because Al Mazrah BR won't be available until at some point next week with the Wednesday playlist update. And that is the Castra public event, which will spawn in 3 planes that drop a combined total of 12 crates across the map. Each crate will spawn 10,000 in cash and between 2 to 4 randomized armor plate carriers. The event has a chance to occur during the 3rd and 5th circles. And again, armor plate carriers from DMZ have now been added into Battle Royale. That's again the Medic, Comms, and Stealth Vest, which you're probably all familiar with by now, but they were not featured in Battle Royale or Resurgence whatsoever. And aside from the Occupation Scan public event, which you knew was coming into Vandal, Battle Royale, and Resurgence, we also have a Communal Stations public event for all Resurgence maps, which also wasn't really marketed, as they put, once Resurgence is disabled, a series of deployable buy stations will drop into the field at random for any player to use, which is helpful for those out there that had a bad match of looting or might have died and had to restart from scratch but is still alive towards the end of a match. Cool little event there that again was not marketed at all. And there are of course plenty of other adjustments, which again are at the very bottom of the patch notes, which I haven't seen too much discussion about, but some cool quality of life changes for the armor ammunition boxes, the gas mask animations, bird's eye the perk, medicine cabinets, and exactly what spawns in them, gas damage we talked about earlier in this video, and then of course some more redeployment elevation updates to reduce the people out there trying to cheat the system a little bit, and then a cash increase across the board for Vandal, a big increase to $500, which was previously $100 in essentially the minimum amount of cash that you can actually pick up at once in certain areas, and that applies to all sources of loot, including registers and supply boxes. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Why not talk a little bit about all these secret and unmarketed changes that you guys probably didn't know got added with our mid-season 4 updates. Again, if you guys read the patch notes, you're probably aware about a number of these things we discussed, but those out there that don't read the patch notes or maybe just play casually, don't have time, then you probably were surprised by some of the changes that did get added as of a couple of days ago. I really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.